Good morning, students. Today we will discuss environmental factors influencing plant growth and flower production in cut flowers. Environmental factors that affect plant growth include light, temperature, water, humidity, and nutrition. First one is light. Light intensity directly influencing the efficiency of photosynthesis and hence the carbohydrate content of the plant. Plant with high carbohydrate content increase the life of cut flower. Low temperature, low intensity, and short period of light reduce the life of cut flowers. Three principal characteristics of light affect plant growth are quantity, quality, and duration. Number one is quantity. Light quantity refer to the intensity or concentration of sunlight. The maximum amount of light is present in summer and the minimum is in the winter. More sunlight a plant receives, the greater its capacity for producing food via photosynthesis. Next is quality. Light quality refer to the color of light. Sunlight supply the complete range of wavelength and can be broken up by a prism into the band of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Blue and red light, which plant absorb, have greatest effect on plant growth. Blue light is responsible primarily for vegetative growth. Red light, when combined with blue light, encourage flowering. Plants look green to us because they reflect rather than absorb green light. Next is duration. Duration or photo period refer to the amount of time a plant is exposed to light. Plants are classified into three categories: short day, long day, and day neutral, depending on their response to duration of light or darkness. Short day plants form flower only when day length is less than 12 hours. For example, chrysanthemum, poinsettia, Christmas cactus, etc. Long day plant form flower only when day length exceeds 12 hours. Example, California poppy, aster, radish, lettuce, spinach, and potato. Day neutral plant form flowers regardless of day length. Example is petunia. Next is temperature. Excessively high temperature during cultivation will reduce the life of cut flower. High temperature increase the rapid water loss from the plants. Next is temperature. Temperature influences most plant processes. As temperature increase, photosynthesis, transpiration, and respiration. When combined with day length, temperature also affects the change from vegetative to reproductive growth. Next is germination. The temperature required for germination varies by species. Generally, cool season crop germinate best at 55 degree to 65 degree Fahrenheit, while warm season crop germinate best at 65 to 75 degree Fahrenheit. Next is flowering. Sometimes horticulturists use temperature in combination with day length to manipulate flowering. For example, a Christmas cactus form flower as a result of short day and low temperature. To encourage Christmas cactus to bloom, place it in a room with more than 12 hours of darkness each day and a temperature of 50 to 55 degree Fahrenheit until flower bud form. If temperatures are high and they are long, cool season crops such as spinach will form flower, which is also known as bolting. However, if temperatures are too cool, fruit will not set on warm season crops such as tomato. Next is humidity. High humidity is required for optimal flower production in some species like rose, since it reduces transpiration and occurrence of pests such as spider mites. However, high level of humidity can increase the growth of bacterial diseases such as gray mold or downy mildew. Next is water. Most growing plants contain 90% water. Water play many role in plants. It is primary component in photosynthesis and respiration. responsible for turgor pressure in cells, a solvent for mineral and carbohydrate moving through the plant cell, responsible for cooling leaves as it evaporates from leaf tissue during transpiration, a regulator of stomatal opening and closing, thus controlling transpiration, and to some degree photosynthesis. Next is plant nutrition. Plant nutrition is confused with fertilizer. Plant nutrition refers to plant need for and use of basic elements. Fertilizer is term used when these materials are added to environment around a plant. Plant needs 17 elements for normal growth. There are three of them are carbohydrate, hydrogen, and oxygen, which are found in air and water. Now, 18 essential elements are required for the plant. Nickel is recently added. Next is factor carbon dioxide. Air normally contains 300 ppm of carbon dioxide. This is ample support for plant growth. In greenhouse, the proportion of carbon dioxide in air can be increased in some situations in order to increase the rate of plant growth, hence shortening the growing period from planting to flowering. So with this, we have completed environment factors. Next topic is production technology, including varieties, propagation, soil nutrition, diseases, and pest of important cut flowers. First one is Gladiolus. The botanical name is Gladiolus grandiflorus, and it belongs to family Iridaceae. South Africa is the origin of tetraploid species, and Europe is the origin of diploid species. Gladiolus meaning a sword-like on account of its sword-like foliage. Important cultivars of Gladiolus are Nova, Span, Peter's Pierce, Mayur, American Beauty, Salvia, Her Majesty, and Topaz. Factor affecting growth and flowering. Soil should be sandy loam, pH 5.5 to 6.5, organic matter about 1%, and optimum soil moisture should be there. Temperature 18 to 25 degrees centigrade, night not less than 10 degrees centigrade, low light intensity is very harmful at 4 to 6 leaf stage. And early blooming in short day during winter with less number of floret. Relative humidity 16 to 17%. These are some important factors which affect growth and flowering. Next is optimum time for planting. The optimum time of planting for the North Indian plain is September to November, Bangalore throughout the year, but the good quality is produced during the month of December and January and June. Optimum time of planting for the low hill is August to September, for the mid hill is Feb to April, and high hills March to May. Propagation of Gladiolus. It can be propagated through seed, combs, comblets, and commons. Optimum planting density and spacing for the Gladiolus, which is recommended by New Delhi, 40 into 15 centimeter. PAU recommended 30 into 20 centimeter. For the greenhouse, it is 10 into 10 centimeter. Ideal planting depth for combs. Planting depth depends upon the purpose of Gladiolus cultivation, soil type, and comb size. It should be 2.5 times than the diameter of combs. Planting depth of 8 to 10 centimeters is ideal for the production of quality cut flower and combs. Next is fertilizers and nutrients. NBRI Lucknow recommend nitrogen 200 gram, phosphorus 200, and potash 200 kilogram per hectare. PAU recommend nitrogen 60, phosphorus 20, potassium 20 gram per meter square. Next is irrigation. Soil should have 60 to 70% moisture of field capacity. No watering is required until comb sprout. Depending on weather, 8 to 12 irrigations of 2.5 to 5 centimeter depth are required. Stays immediately after sprouting, and 4 to 6 leaf stays are very sensitive to water deficient. Plant spot in Gladiolus. Earthing up to 10 to 15 centimeter is done when plants are at 4 to 6 leaf stage or when plants are 15 to 20 centimeter high. Hoeing should not be done at swelling of flower spike. Staking with bamboo or wood stick is done in the beds. String or rope may tied in 3 rows along the plant row to avoid losing of plants. Next is weeding in gladiolus. 3 to 4 weeding, that is hand weeding, are sufficient. We can also use chemical like atrazine, oxyfloran, stone, which is also known as pendimethalin, to control effective weed as pre-emergence stage. Next is diseases of gladiolus. The important diseases are wilt, comb, rot, blight, blue grain mold, leaf spot, viral diseases, etc. Next is important insect pest of gladiolus. Aphid, thrips, caterpillar, nematodes are the insect pest of gladiolus. Stages of harvesting gladiolus. For the local market, when the lowermost 1 to 2 florets are open, and for the distant market, when the lowermost 1 to 2 florets are colored. Average yield. Spike 2 to 3 lakh, that is 1 to 2 spike per plant. Comb 2.5 to 3 lakh, that is 2 combs per plant. And cormals 15 into 20 lakh, that is 10 into 20 cormals per plant. With this, we have completed the cultivation of gladiolus, and the next cultivation is of rose. Scientific name is Rosa indica, local name is Gulab, and it belongs to family Rosaceae. Cut roses are top selling among flowers sold in the florist trade. Next is varieties. A large number of varieties in various colors and types such as hybrid teas for cut flower production, floribundas for garden displays, miniature rose for edging pot culture are available. Climate. Temperature is an important factor regulating the growth of plant. Light, less than 12 hours lead lower number of flowers. Humidity play an important role in incident of pest diseases affect the growth and flowering. Soil requirement and preparation. The soil required for the cultivation of rose is loamy. Soil having should have sufficient organic matter. The pH 6 to 7.5 is good. The soil should have tilth up to 50 centimeter. The field should be free from gravel, stone, brick pieces, and other foreign materials, and exposed to sun at least a week. Planting distance. The planting distance depends upon the type of rose and location. For a flower production, spacing of 60 to 30 is recommended. Normally, roses are planted at 60 into 60 centimeter. Next is propagation. There are two methods of propagation. One is cutting and second one is budding. In case of cutting, about 15 into 20 centimeter long, unrooted cutting of rootstock raised with 2000 ppm of IBA is taken, and the tea budding is practiced. For this rooted rootstock cutting can also be used. Then the budding cutting is inserted in the piece of polythene of about 10 into 15 centimeter filled with sterilized river sand. Simultaneously, both the rooting and bud union take place. The plants are ready within 3 to 4 months. In this process, misting must be provided for better result. For this, budding plant should be kept under poly covers. So, rose can be planted in North India, plains of India. Cutting of rootstock should be planted during December, January, or up to Feb, which become ready for budding after 11 to 12 months. The best time for budding ranges from second fortnight of November to end of the February. Next, irrigation. Flood irrigation is given at 10 days interval depending upon the soil and climate. Avoid irrigation immediately after training and pruning, weeding, mulching 2 to 4 inches of organic material like wood chips if found to reduce annual weed and make weeding easier. Manual weeding is effective. Hoeing and rowing is also effective. We can also use chemicals to control the weed. Next is pruning, that is the removal of unwanted and unreproductive portion of the plant and make the plant vigorous and productive. Time of pruning, exactly 45 days prior to date of flowering during October to December. Pruning is necessary when yield and quality decline. Harvesting, flowering start from first year onwards, economically yield second to 10th year. Flowers are harvested when the flower buds are in half open stage. For cut flowers, they are harvested at tight bud stage with long stem. Next is handling. As soon as the flowers are harvested, the stems are lowered into clean bucket containing water. The flowers are then cooled to 2 to 4 degrees centigrade for 5 to 6 hours. The flowers are graded accordingly to the length of the flower stalk. It varies from 14 to 110 centimeter depending upon the variety and packed 2 per bunch. Manures. After pruning, basin formed around the plant, sand manure are applied 10 to 15 centimeter depth. Organic manure, oil cake, bone meal are excellent source of nitrogen and phosphorus respectively and may be applied after pruning. Next is yield, loose flower 7.5 ton per hectare, cut flower first year 100 to 120 flower per meter square, and in the third year 300 to 360 flower per meter square. With this, we have completed the cultivation of rose. Thank you.